kind of pivoting over to then your UK experience, how did that differ? And, obviously there's a lot of meaning in your part of your life in Italy, but then how did that differ when going to the UK, with England and in Wales as well? Did the fans experience, is that different? Was, just the culture of England different? And, how did that affect your game?
So England was, I guess, sort of similar, a little bit different though. But yeah, like in England, I had a great experience with fans. Like they were super supportive, even when things weren't going, like, even if I had a bad game or things like that, I'd have people, coming up after and talking to me. And just like, yeah, in England, it helped a lot. People were super supportive for me. I'm sure maybe that's not the case everywhere, but the other thing that really helps too, that I noticed in England, is like there's all these other people at the club. So you have the players, you have the coaches, but like people that are volunteering at the club, people that are cooking meals there, that are cleaning up the club, that are, driving the bus, all these things. There's so many people that are involved in a club, and you sort of like all become this family. So, yeah, like Kevin Druids, my last club, is the Welsh Premier League, and like some incredible people. And I always felt like a ton of support. Again, when things were going good, everyone is like behind you and cheering for you. But even when things were going bad, yeah, you were all in it together. And it was like that with the fans too. It was a really, really cool experience. And then even before games, so like a lot, I don't know if it was season ticket holders or who, but like a lot of people would go into this one area. They would hang out before games. They'd have some food. They might like grab a beer or whatever. But yeah, some of the players, like we go in there and talk to people and hang out, and you get to know a lot of the fans and the people that are behind this club. And yeah, it was like, that's the place where I felt more support than like any other club I played at in my life. Right. It was a pretty cool experience. And like thinking about it, yeah, there's people that I really miss that I got to get back to go see.
Yeah, most definitely. So your time in the UK, you played, just for the people listening to know, you played for Macclesfield and Kevin Druids. Is there any other team that we're missing in that description?
So there's teams that, like, when I went to the UK, I was coming from Italy, didn't have like much of a CV for England. People didn't really know me. So I originally went to this one game, just to kind of give you an idea of the UK. You can move up really, really quickly if you score goals and you play well.
Yeah.
Like probably quicker than most countries.
Okay.
So for me, I went in this, there was like, I had an agent at the time, and he sent me in this like trial game. It was before preseason started. And then in that game, like I just made sure that I did well. So I scored 4 goals in the first half. And then from
amount.
there, what's that?
Hefty amount.
Yeah. And then from there, this Italian agent, like basically there was a couple English agents there too, and people that saw me play that like, wow, okay. So then they didn't know if I could play in England. It's a lot different than Italy, right? Italy's like slower pace, extremely tactical.
Yeah.
England is just like tons
Just
of
go.
zero tactics. Like no offense to England, but very little tactics. And so from there, they took me to like a 10th division team. It's like a really low level. And then from there, I scored a hat trick in the first half. This is like, I don't know if this is preseason or what. Scored a hat trick again in the first half. So now it's like 2 games, 7 goals. And then from there, I basically wanted them to take me on trials with like good teams. How did I end up with Macclesfield? There was another team, Stockport County, that they were a championship club that like was struggling, and they went under, but they had huge following. I love that field. But yeah, I actually got this list off a player, another player who basically went from 5th division to the Premier League in one season.
Wow.
Yeah, like a good friend of mine, just crushed it, moved up, signed with Swansea, and
that's incredible.
Yeah, so he had this list of like different coaches. So I just started calling up random coaches from clubs. And this guy at Stockport County actually answered, and they had a reserve a reserve team, and I just said, hey, I'm trying to get some games while I'm here. I scored 7 goals in the last 2 halves that I played. Can I come out? And then said, yeah, sure. So then I went there. I think I scored 8 goals and 8 goals and like 4 assists in 3 games with them. And then from there, I was training with Macclesfield. How did that happen? I'm trying
There's a lot of bouncing around. It's crazy. The English league, you just like what I'm hearing from you and what I've kind of heard from other people is that you can just bounce around like crazy with how well the system is sort of set up between first division to all the way, like you're saying, 10th division. It's so fluid, and loan spells are a thing. And when you're down in the 10th division, I mean, a contract probably doesn't mean too much. So like you're probably, you can just move around pretty fluidly. I also would like to add, just for anyone listening, I don't think we said this in the beginning, but Cody, you are a striker. So you are scoring a lot of goals. It's your job, but he's not playing center back.
He's not scoring from left back.
So just to note that for people, not to undermine at all the insane accomplishments that he has with his goal scoring tallies in certain countries, but just to let people know the position that he played in. That is so cool though. All of the bouncing around and moving around. One thing I have to ask is, outside of the soccer in the UK, what was your favorite part about the culture? Was it the food? Was it the people? What did you love about being in the UK, whether that was in England or whether that was in Wales in the Welsh Premier League? You know, what was it that you loved?
So for me, like pretty much everywhere I go, I love the people. So like England, I still have some of my best friends there. I met up with, actually 2 weeks ago, met up with some friends from England. We all went to Mexico, and like now I'm my goddaughter's from England. So yeah, just the people are incredible, super welcoming. At least, they were really welcoming with me. I was in Manchester. I was living there, and it's fun. Like I like being in cities too. I like going downtown and just looking around and seeing people in action. So that was great. And then just like they're obsessed about soccer. So it's it's a pretty incredible place to go to.